Bradford City have signed Jake Young, the Forest Green Rovers former striker. He was in Guiseley's academy. He's a northerner, born in Huddersfield. He's an interesting player who we've signed. He's probably relatively exciting. He's going to be hungry. He's going to want to prove himself at this level. He hasn't scored many goals for Forest Green Rovers in his 2 seasons. Got them promoted with champions. He's played over 20 games in 2 seasons. He's 20 years of age. He's young and hungry. We've got the experienced striker in Andy Cook. We've got the middle-aged striker in Lee Angol. I think he's 27 or 28. And Jake Young, I think he's 20 years of age. So he's very exciting player who's going to be, like I said, wanting to prove himself at this level. He hasn't scored many goals. I think he scored altogether 9 goals in 2 seasons, which isn't a lot, but he might be a backup player to Lee Angol. And obviously we know Lee Angol's limitations. He has got injuries. That is his problem. He's very injury prone. He is our 14th player now in the squad. Our 3rd signing of the window. We retained Walker. We've got Lewis, the goalkeeper. Before that we had 13 players, which, you know, looking at it, I'm thinking, right, well, we do need to sign about 10 more players, because you've got Angol who's injury prone, you've got Ice who's injury prone, you've got Ormby who I've counted, he's a backup keeper, you've got Vinkles and Dawson, Staunton as well, so it's actually our 15th. You know, you've got a few youngsters in there. We are going to have to sign quite a few, and it hasn't been a good secret that's been kept. It's been leaked. I don't know how it's been leaked, how it has, because a lot of sources on Twitter have caught onto it. TNA have been putting stuff on about Young, so it's been probably the worst kept secret in football in the last few days. But you know, he's, like I said, he's going to be young and hungry and learning off an experienced striker like Andy Cook, Mark Hughes. You know, they'll be able to learn him a few stuff, and hopefully he'll hit the ground running in July. But I'm not sure on it. But I back Mark Hughes and the recruitment team that we've got for next season. He signed a 3-year deal, undisclosed fee. But yeah, like I said, I trust Mark Hughes, and I hope all the fan base do. You know, when we look back to Derek Adams when he came in, I think we had a lot of trust in him as well. Before Adams, we didn't have much trust in managers. Stuart McCall a bit, but did he have the recruitment staff behind him like Mark Hughes has? You know, when you look back to his 2nd spell, we had Greg Abbott, but now there seems to be a structure. We seem to be building a bit of a culture at the club, and that's what we need to do. We're setting these targets for us, and you know, hopefully we can build them. I do feel like we have a good base to build off for next season, and we have a pretty good interest for players to come. Valley Parade, big stadium, big fan base, 15,000 guaranteed, and Mark Hughes, you know, it is a big attraction. But what he said is, when the supporters get going, it's unbelievable. That is something I relish, and I want to get them on my side now. Just feels like football, and it's a great place to be. I've already met with the manager and got a great feel for the direction where the club is heading. I'm a player who likes to make things happen and get the fans off their seats. I will take risks and try to create things out of nothing, which I think a lot of the fans like to see. You know, we like to see players who get us off our seats and, you know, do take risks, which we haven't had for a few years. You know, we do want players who take risks and, you know, take a shot, especially at home, because little things like that get the fans off the seats and it gets a roar going. And it's just the little things that, you know, can change the mood in the stadium, and, you know, the little things are big things at Valley Parade. So yeah, he said it feels good to be back up north, and I cannot be happier. I'm just looking forward to getting started and helping this club back to where it belongs, which I am annoyed about, because every time we sign a new player, every time a manager comes in, it is the boring old same thing, where, you know, we want to get back into the Championship, that's where this club belongs, the stadium, the fans. What else can they say? But it is repetitive, you know, they do come out and say the same thing. Would be nice to say if they came out and said something different. I don't know, it's just very generic, every signing, they come out and say the same things. But Mark Hughes said Jake is a player we're really excited to be bringing to Valley Parade and looking forward to working with him. At just 20 he's young, still very much growing in the game, but he has experienced the playoffs at this level and already achieved promotion last season, winning the title with Forest Green, which is a big thing because when we look at signings, you know, we do judge them, we are critical of what they've done, and last season did we sign players who have proven, we signed a few, but Young has been in a good environment with a good set of players and a good manager. He's been promoted, he's been in the playoffs, so he's suffered heartache, and he's suffered the ultimate goal of getting out of the division by winning the league. So he knows what it takes to win, and I think this is a big attraction with signing players like Jake Young, players who are proven in League 2 and players who know how to get out of it and being in a good environment, because I'm sure that Edwards created a good environment at Forest Green, and hopefully for us Mark Hughes creates a good environment here, not only with the fans but with the players in the dressing room. And he said he carries a lot of dangerous attributes in his game and he's happy to be back in Yorkshire and more so at this club. After 2 goals in 2 appearances at Valley Parade already in an opposition player, we are looking forward to seeing him how he fares in a Bradford City shirt. So, like I said, he's got a decent record against us. I remember he scored a goal at home where handball, potential offside, and he somehow wiggled through our back line. Hopefully he'll be doing that to the opposition defences next season. We'll have to see how he does, but I do think he could do well. We do need 3 strikers, we've got our 3 strikers, but let's get them contracts renewed because they're the big thing. Paddy O'Connor, I do think he'll be going now, and Elliot Watt looks like he's off. That we've been linked to Matt Butcher, former Accrington Stanley midfielder, contract ran out. I think he's been linked to Portsmouth and a couple of League 1 clubs as well. Matt Butcher, formerly at Bournemouth. He will be an interesting player, but being linked to players like him probably will mean that Elliot Watt ain't going to renew. We'll soon probably be linked with centre backs, which means Paddy O'Connor won't renew, and Vernon's been offered Lincoln and Bolton, I believe. Players who we want to sign could be going, but I think players like Levi Sutton are important to keep because the versatility that they offer. He hasn't really been given a chance in midfield, which is his proper position under Mark Hughes, but he can do a job in left wing back, left back, right back, on the wings. He can do a job there, and I think players like him, utility players, are very important in wanting to be successful in gaining promotion. You do need them type of players who are going to play anywhere and put in a good job, because when you're down to a thin squad by December, especially with us with injuries, I mean we always get injuries and that's down to the recruitment team. We'll see how Jake Young does. Hopefully he hits the ground running and hopefully he turns out to be a good player for Bradford City. 3-year deal, undisclosed fee. Jake Young, welcome to Bradford City.